Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Spirits of the Forest. This is a little set collection abstract game that I really enjoyed. I played it a couple times recently, and there are two things that I want to highlight in this game. The core thing you're doing in this game, if you're not familiar with it, is that you have all these tiles that are out on the table that kind of look like this. This is the deluxe edition, I think, and you are, on your turn, claiming one or two of these tiles, depending on some rules that I won't go into here. And you're collecting sets of things. You're collecting collections of different icons as shown on this tile. And the reason you're doing that is at the end of the game, if you have the most or you're tied for the most in any of those icons, here are a few of them, you get 1 point for each of those icons. However, if you are not in first, you don't get any points. And if you don't have any of that icon, you get -3 points. And this is the first thing that I really like about this game. That the game encourages you to go in two very different directions. Basically, it encourages you to diversify and have one of each of the, I believe, 8 or 9 tile types. But at the same time, it's also encouraging you to specialize and go after a few different tile types so that you actually get to score those tiles. Because if you just have one of each tile type, you won't get -3 points, but you won't get a bunch of points either. You probably just get 0 points. So that's one thing I really like. I like that push and pull, that tension between getting a diverse array of tiles and specializing. The other thing I really like is the addition. This is such a clever little addition because I don't think I would have thought of this. Oop, that probably was very loud to you. And these are these little eggs that you can put down on your turn. On your turn, you can put down one of these eggs. You have 3 of them in your collection, in your supply at the beginning of the game. And if you want, say I take this tile and it ends up revealing this tile. They could be anywhere on the board, really. Say at some point in the game, I decide that I really want this tile. I can take another tile. So if I can't take it, I can take another tile and I can put an egg on that tile. I'll put it right here. Another player can still acquire that tile. It's basically kind of reserving it for you to get. Another player can still take it, but if they do, they must permanently remove one of their eggs from the game. So you're signaling in a very clear way to other players what you want, or at least what you're trying to block. But you're also helping yourself, increasing your chances of you being the one to actually get that tile. And it's just a really nice additional choice to make on your turn other than which tile am I going to get. You're also saying which tile do I want to get later, which tile do I want to kind of increase the cost for another player, even though you're not buying these tiles, you're just acquiring them. But you're creating a cost. Where there was a no cost, you were saying, okay, now there is a cost for this. You need to pay an egg permanently to get that tile. And it's a little hard to describe because of what's so good about this, but I really like it. I like that extra level, that extra dimension of deciding where you want to put those eggs, which tiles you want to try to reserve for yourself or to discourage other players from taking. It gives you an element of planning ahead too. You can go after a certain thing and plan ahead a little bit by putting those eggs out because you have a greater chance of actually getting those tiles. So yeah, I really like that element, that aspect, those mechanisms, not just one mechanism, of Spirits of the Forest. If you like something different about this game, you want to talk about it in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Or if this reminds you of another mechanism in another game where you are either reserving tiles or or where a game is pushing you in two very different directions to go after, to both specialize and diversify, I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. Thanks.